This was a very interesting project. I was approached by Nigel from Bigfoot 4x4 monster trucks to create characters for their large vehicles. We were first given concept drawings of Ben 10 characters. From the drawings we gave them prices or quotes for the actual job, and then from there we had to start dressing their original trucks. The first character was called Vilgax, and here I am carving it on top of their monster truck form from polystyrene, and this is how we started the whole project. Once I'm happy with the form, we then foil it and fibreglass it, and then go through the rather tedious task of sanding all the lumps and bumps down until we end up with a lovely finish. Now, taking a project from a concept drawing and not having a model to work from, we actually just went straight on top of the master fiberglass shell and stuck the polystyrene to it, and then went to work. I think the main thing by only working from the drawings instead of actually having a master pattern or a clay figure as a master to copy is you create something and it looks different to how you might imagine it to be when it's in 3D. I'll come back here, it's late into the evening, 11:30. Been home, had my tea, come back and trying to get this finished so the lads can crack on this tomorrow. We can foil it and then fiberglass it. I promised the client that we'll get one done every 2.5 weeks from creation to finish, and so we can hand it over. It's proven quite hard work, but I think the client's quite happy so far, and I think he's just more relieved that the job is getting done. He hasn't actually seen, he's come down and see the first tentacle part on the very front of the bonnet, but we're cracking on with it now, and it's looking very, very good. I think the client will be very happy at the end of the day. It's for these monster trucks, and it's going to be at the O2 Arena, so I hope they send me tickets, because my boys would love to go and see them get smashed up and crashed up. It'll be good fun. So, for my client's sake, I'm going to work on for another 2 or 3 hours and try and get this finished for tomorrow. Now here we are just assembling all the fiberglass parts to the actual original shell, just to make sure that everything fits tight and goes back together the way we intended it to be. As you can imagine, on top of the fiberglass there's an awful lot of filling to do, sanding down, filling, resanding, refilling, until we're happy to apply the primer layer of paint. This truck is going to have several parts or several units to go on it, and it all takes time. Here we have it primed with a 2K paint, and then it goes to the airbrush artists, who then transform it from the grey primer to Vilgax itself. Fantastic transformation. The second car was called Rath. Once again, here he is. We work up from the concept drawings, and then from the concept drawings we start to clad in polystyrene and make it in 3 dimensions. Here we are just working at its claws. Here we're just making sure the back shell fits the return edge. Now, seeing the whole, the individual pieces come off the original shell, we tried to create an invisible join. So we put fixings on the back of the return side of the fiberglass, so you can bolt it from the interior of the shell work itself. The next one was Humongous Oris. Fantastic one to do. It had to look like some kind of giant monster. Once again, polystyrene, fiberglass,
and a lot of finishing work to be done. Now, when creating this, we actually had this shell which was really quite wobbly, and in hindsight we should have made a kind of frame which held it really in its proper position, because there was quite a few problems actually, I understand, of them fitting them to the masters, but they obviously has overcome that. But in hindsight we shall make a really strong structure, so when we build our patterns in the future they'll fit exactly without any complications at all. But each and every project has its own ups and downs about it, and as long as we can overcome these things in the future, and then we've learnt something from it. And here we have Humongous Oris all painted up, ready to go to the O2 Arena. The next character was Swampfire. Now he was a really exciting one to do. And once again we're taken from the original drawings and illustrations, and then had to create it in polystyrene. Now as I got through the actual carving, design sort of changed slightly, but it was quite nice because it actually improved along the way, so it's always good to see that transition. And here we are, the polystyrene shapes, and I'm also just checking height references to make sure the left side also matches the right. It's really nice to have a client such as Nigel from Bigfoot 4x4, because although they're his trucks, he's actually come to me as a sculptor to create these characters, and he's kind of let me just get on with it, well, which is often the best way. As long as they look fantastic on the day, he's happy, and therefore his client's happy. Now here we are all working and beavering away. We take our work very serious, but as we want to make sure the client is happy with it. But in the nature of the Ben 10, we all have lots of fun as well. Yeah, very mature. And here we have the finished pieces all primed up and ready to be painted, and here it is in its full glory and on site at the O2 Arena. And here we see some of the characters being put through their paces at the O2 Arena, crashing and banging over the cars, and much to the crowd's delight, they look fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, Nigel from Bigfoot 4x4 and also Ben 10 creators. It was a real pleasure doing this one, and I hope there's many more to come. I think they can only get better and better.